What's up, guys? Now we are at part 2 of the $2,000 a day series. It's actually the final part, so series of 1 and 2. But we're going to get back into the items that sold. Remember, it was $2,000 a day, $14,000. That's just 1 week in sales, 7 days. So we're going to jump back into it, show you what kind of stuff a $750,000 a year store sells, and how often that stuff sells. I'm going to give you a bunch of details that you're not going to get anywhere else. We are resellers before we are YouTubers, and that's a big deal. A lot of people are the other way around. So you will learn something from us, and hopefully it'll be very good information for you. And I'm just rambling on at this point, but we're going to get into the sales now.
All right, guys, getting right into the sales here. First, we have first in part 2, I should say, we have a pair of Prana men's hiking pants. Prana is a decent brand. The men's stuff seems to do better than the women's stuff. These sold for $28.50. Don't pay up a lot for it, but it is a good bread and butter outdoor brand.
New York Yankees polo. Majestic, not a crazy brand for stuff that's not as substantial. A more substantial piece, like a big heavy jacket, that's still going to be good. But this New York Yankees, just kind of cheaper made polo, sold for $21.85. The thing carrying this was the New York Yankees, so that's why we still bought it. It was just a plain Majestic without any logos on it, which you're not going to find. Probably wouldn't pick it up, but good old Yankees picking her up.
Picking her up. Next is oh no, why did I gotta get this one? Fashionable, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, however you say this word, this is just a this is a Fashionable new tags wool blend crew neck sweatshirt. This sold for, I believe, like $50. Really high sale for us. Didn't pay a lot for it. I think we paid what, like $10 for this.
I think it ended up being like $5.
$5, really?
Yeah, it was on sales, on like clearance kind of. It wasn't from a clearance store, so our thrift store sometimes marks stuff. They priced it really high and then they marked it back down. And then it was half off of the markdown.
So great sale.
Yeah.
This brand.
Did you say it was a wool blend?
Yeah, wool blend. This brand's okay. Obviously,
spaced out for a second.
Obviously, the wool part of this wool blend is giving it a little more value, as happens with most items. If it's got wool or cashmere, it adds a little bit of value. So that's why we picked it up. Size is great too. So always look up this brand. If you see it in a thrift store, a lot of factors can increase its value.
Peter Millar. This is a merino wool Peter Millar. The regular pullovers that are just cotton, don't pay up for them. You're not going to get a ton out of them. Even this one, we only sold for like $30. So, I mean, I would probably pay 10 and less and nothing more than 10, but it still sold for 30, so we more than doubled our money, and we're going to take that.
We originally priced it at 40, which is why if we would have originally priced it at 30, it would have sold instantly. So sometimes it's better to just get your money back as quickly as possible. If it's something plain like this, it's really just a plain quarter zip sweater, so you're not going to get a ton of money out of it. Maybe just price it to sell. All Saints. This is an All Saints. If you see this little crazy looking skull logo, that's All Saints. This is just a knit pullover. I think it's just cotton, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just 100% cotton. If this would have been wool or something more substantial like linen, obviously it would have sold for more, but this sold for $38 and it sold really quickly, listed $10.24. So All Saints is definitely a hit or miss brand. Sometimes the jeans can be good. Sometimes the more substantial sweaters can be good, but always look it up when you see All Saints. It's not an instant pickup, but it can be pretty good.
That's an Orvis. It's one of the fleece vests, kind of like the better sweater Patagonia style. Everybody copied that, I believe. But this is sold for $47.50, and it was new with tags. So that's why we picked this up. Paid a little bit more for it. I think we paid around $10, but it sold for $47.50, and it sold in less than a month. So I believe that was a pretty good pickup by me. No big deal.
This is Harley Davidson's.
Oh, I picked this up too.
What do you want to do with it? This is a Harley Davidson.
Harvey did.
This is a Harley Davidson heavyweight motorcycle flannel kind of shacket type deal. Great size. Some of the Harley stuff is more substantial. It sells for more. Obviously, the leather jackets are going to be your highest premium. But we pick it up if it's got a lot of graphics on it or if it's a more substantial piece. This item actually was it? Oh, well, it took a long time to sell.
Yeah.
This at $11.23.
We took an offer like $50. I had it priced way too high. It was one of those I got too attached to my items.
Yeah, well, anyway, sold for like $50 and definitely didn't sell fast.
No. Probably should have priced it around 50 to start.
What the heck is this? Code Blue.
Code Blue. These are women's pants. They both sold, I mean, relatively quickly, not too bad, 4 or 5 months. But they sold together, and they sold for $47.50 in total. So always helps to have multiple items that are the same size and the same brand, because every once in a while, man, somebody's gonna come in and bundle stuff up.
Oh, these were kind of cool. I found several pairs of these pants. Comps were very hard to find because there's really not even a name brand. It just says African American College Alliance. So I was like, But some people had them listed for like $100. So I was like, it's a good size. Somebody thinks they're worth something. So I bought them. They were $5 each. So I said, what the heck? Let's buy them. And some have sold for $30. Some have sold for like this, $47.50. So it just depends. Definitely. I've noticed anything that says African American, like civil rights kind of stuff, NAACP, stuff like that, it does seem to sell actually really quickly. So always look it up if you see anything like that on an item. Sometimes it can even be worth like hundreds of dollars. But these sold for, I'm going way too long on this, but these sold for $47.50 and were a good pickup.
Eddie Bauer vest. It's a Travex. If you see that yellow logo, with like the 2 arrows, one going up, one going down. It's always Travex. This is a quilted puffer vest that was down, had all that stuff in there. You see the 700, that means it's the 700 fill. That has to do with the down part of it, so always put that in the title. But sold quickly, $24. Not crazy because it was more of a lightweight vest, so but still sold.
This is a Ralph Lauren, right?
I don't know, we'll find out in the comments.
Jacket. This was actually a down puffer with a nice little fur collar, which is why it sold for so much. Sold for $68, and it sold within a month. So definitely happy with that sale. These Ralph Lauren coats can be really good, even the women's coats. The men's are even better, but the women's coats are actually pretty high performers for us. So if you see them, pick them up. You can even pay up a little bit for them because they do sell pretty quickly. This time of year, they sell quickly, I should say.
This is a Trina Turk dress. Probably won't buy these again. It took a while to sell, like over a year, and we only sold it.
The size is bad.
I think we only sold it for
40 maybe.
Something 35, $40, something like that. It was not.
As you can see, the retail's crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where women's clothing is a mystery to me sometimes. So, but it eventually sold, I guess.
This is a Patagonia Polar Tech, just a regular T-snap pullover.
Snap T.
That's what I meant to say. Snap T. I'm dyslexic. Snap T pullover.
T-snap.
T-snap.
That's my nickname in high school.
T-snap actually.
T-snap.
It sounds better.
And Tony Little.
You know what? We're gonna start T-snap. But this sold for $38, and it took a while to sell. Listed in January, so not even Patagonia sells instantly. Sometimes stuff gets buried in the algorithm, which is one of the reasons we use auto posture. It helps get items unburied in the algorithm, but definitely a more substantial sale at that $38 price range.
Bonobos flannel. Yeah, nothing really much to say about that. Flannel, always put it in the title. It sold for $17, and it sold. Didn't see how quick because it was clicked off.
Like a month.
Okay.
Judy Blue shorts, new with tags, listed $7.24. Kind of weird to sell shorts this time of year because it's cooling down in most places. But these sold for $31.35, and they're just a regular pair of shorts. And most of the time, if it's new with tags, Judy Blue, it'll tell you everything you need to know on the tag.
Eddie Bauer, another Travex. Ooh, sensing a theme. Sold for $20, and it sold very quickly. So the Travex, the first descent. There's some other ones that are in there. I forget, like Free Move maybe or something like that. Anyway, sold pretty good.
Hudson jeans.
Hoodie.
Some of these Hudson jeans can actually go for decent money. These, I don't know the exact style. I don't think we even put the exact style, but they sold for
Sartor.
Oh, where? Oh yeah, Sartor. So if you see the Sartors, pick them up. They do sell for a decent amount. These sold for $41.80, and they only took a couple months to sell. So definitely happy with that sale.
Weatherproof, another something that we don't really pick up a lot. This was a new piece. and it sold.
It was so soft.
Yeah, it was a
High
cheap.
pile.
Like we didn't have to pay a lot for it, so it was high pile fleece, more substantial. Sold for $24, and it sold. I mean, relatively quickly, about a month. So
A lot of times, even if you like this item, weatherproof vintage, but we have a close-up picture of the MSRP being $85. That's the perceived value the customer wants to see. A lot of times that alone can sell an item.
inflation.
So if you ever have like a high retail price on a tag, take a picture of that and make sure the buyer sees it, because they're going to be more inclined to buy because they think they're getting a deal. This is an LL Bean extra small jacket, so not a great size to say the least, but it's a wool coat. Sold for, I don't even know what this sold for. Do you know what this sold for? It's got to be probably like $48 to $50 if I'm guessing, but we sold this for. Like I said, the size is not great, but it is wool. I think it's that boiled wool, so a little bit of a little more expensive. The boiled wool is more expensive. So definitely a good sale, but would we pick it up again with that extra small size? I'm going to lean towards no.
I mean, it took 10 months to sell.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards no because it's just not worth the wait.
Now this brand also probably lean towards no, picking up again.
Yeah, whatever.
Arc'teryx quarter zip pullover. It was a fleece, that style. Again, like the better sweater. Sold very quickly, $76. And believe it or not, I found this on $2 day, so I got it for like $2. So pick it up.
This is a Guess jacket, men's large leather jacket. Guess leather coats can be okay. This one took forever to sell, so don't know if I would buy it again. I definitely wouldn't pay up for it, but it sold for $40. So we made some money on it. I think we paid $10, but not the greatest sale.
This is a Woolrich flannel jacket style. It was olive green. It was
Newer
wool. It was pearl snap, so it had a lot going for it. And it sold for $38, and it sold very quickly. Actually, it sold twice. So we listed it in October, early October, or a minute, yeah, we listed it in early October. It sold, got delivered, got returned because of fit, and then sold again. So
wow,
all within a month.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
This is a Para hoodie. This brand, so anytime you
does that magazine question mark with a donkey on it?
Yeah, anytime you see something that says made in Europe, I mean 9 times out of 10 it's going to be good. I don't know why that is. I think if it's made in Europe, a lot of times it's just not here in the United States. So if somebody wants it, they're going to have to buy it from you because they can't get it. So this brand is actually really good, but this hoodie was not in the greatest shape. I think there's something wrong with it. Yeah, see, there's a hole. So this thing I would have probably listed this for $50 if it didn't have this hole, but it's sold for $28.50 with a hole right here. This hole can be easily repaired.
It said hole 4 times.
a lot of hole talk, but anyway, this brand's actually really good. So if you see Para, pick it up. I'm getting slap happy.
This is a Marmot jacket. It was one of those soft shell jackets, and it sold very quickly for $30. A lot of times if we get a $30 offer on $38 listing, we will take it, and that's what we did. It had some light wash wear apparently.
Next is a Wilson's leather vest. These things don't sell for a lot, but they sell super quickly. Sold for $24.70, and it sold pretty much instantly.
Vintage.
It's got a hole in it.
So this is a Augusta. If you ever see that yellow American map with the little flag sticking up, that stands for Augusta National. And you can also put the Masters in the title as well, because that's the tournament, the famous tournament that is held there. It's the Schlesinger brand, so not the greatest brand. It's older. It has that Scottish plaid print that helps it out a little bit, but it had a hole, so it didn't sell for as much as it would have. But we think we sold it for $15. Probably would have sold for more in the 30, 35 range if it didn't have the hole, but that's fine.
This is a pair of J. Crew women's snake print pants. Now, these things took forever to sell. Were they recreated? No, they actually weren't. So these things took a really long time to sell. We bought them because they were snake print, but obviously we're not going to pick them up again because they took way too long to sell. Still sold for $15, so still made money on them, but definitely not the greatest pickup. I believe our logic was snake print. Got to be good, right?
Joe's jeans. These were whitewashed Joe's jeans. sold for $24. They sold very quickly. Joe's jeans, not the best performers, but they're better in men's. So if you find Joe's in men's,
Don't buy them in women's. They're not good
Yeah.
in women's. Donald J. Trump suit. As you can see in my handy camera work here, I held the pants with a pointer. So Donald J. Trump suits are actually really good. They sell, especially obviously the elections coming up right here soon. So everybody's searching for Donald Trump
everybody
stuff.
want to look like Trump.
Yeah, everybody's searching
But
for his
nobody
stuff.
want to put the work in.
It's okay. His stuff is really hot right now, selling for a lot of money. This sold for, I think, $55, and it sold pretty much instantly.
Which for a two-piece suit's not crazy. Like, I mean, it's not a ton of money.
Well, the thing about suits, though, is the sell-through rate on most suits is horrible. So selling a suit in a month is crazy. That's really, really fast. So they're going to be fast movers if you do pick them up. Let me see if I can find the
newer
logo.
suits sell quicker. So.
Yeah, so this, as you can see, this is the logo. If you see that logo or Donald J. Trump, pick it up.
This is a Helly Hansen jacket. Sold quite a few Helly Hansens recently, and this actually is not in great shape. There's like a lining underneath here that's getting ripped apart.
It's awful.
Still sold for $23, and it's still sold in less than a month. So if you price it right, it sells quickly.
I would be very surprised if that doesn't get returned. I mean, it's like it's like
we showed it.
Yeah, you can see it, but all the inside lining is just like crumbling.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Next is a pair of Rothy's. Rothy's are still good. They're not going to go for crazy money like they used to, but you'll still get 40, 50 bucks out of them. These sold, I believe, for $40. I think we just took the $40 offer because why not? Paid $5 for them.
If you can find one that's discontinued, they don't make anymore, they obviously sell for a whole lot more.
Yeah, but this is what it looks like.
Harder to find.
There's a lot of fake Rothy's out there, so be careful.
Ted Baker Blazer. This was a new without tags. The little barb right there, you can see the tag is not on it anymore. So tag got ripped off, but we sold it for $100, and then it got returned, and then we sold it again for another $100 again. So it sold twice in 3 months. Good sign. It's a small size, actually a 36 regular. So even a small size, you know, more of a, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's the Keith model. Anyway, sold for $100, and it sold twice in a few months. So.
And on these Ted Baker Blazers, the ones that are made in Italy, this is the tag I have to put up on the screen. As you see, it says made in Italy. Those sell for more, and they always have the model on them, so you'll be able to look them up really easily. So they're easy to list. Public Rec pants. If you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know we sell a lot of Public Rec stuff. This sold for $50, and it took a while to sell. It listed $624. We priced them a little high, which is why it's taken a while to sell, but definitely a good sale for us. Public Rec, that's what the logo looks like. And if you see it, probably almost always a pickup.
Another one, not another Public Rec. I don't know why I said another one. I meant another sale. Alaskan Hard Gear, that is I believe it's a Duluth. Yeah, it's a Duluth brand. Sells, honestly, probably a little better than just Duluth. So it, but it sold quickly.
It's like a higher end.
I mean, not, I guess really quickly, I guess a few months, but it sold for $21.85. Flannel, plaid, all those good stuff. But
Flat pocket. Another pair of African American College Alliance pants. These things, I was really honestly surprised that they sold. I bought them kind of like, well, whatever, we'll buy them. But yeah, another good sale. I'm not going to talk about it again because we already hit that. But
Scotty Vest. If you find Scotty Vest, it does not. It's one of those brands that have like the travel thing, so it has really big pockets on the inside, so that you can travel without a carry-on and stuff like that. Don't have to put as much in your suitcase or whatever. But they don't sell for as much as they used to. A lot of times it was like $80, $90 sale easy. This one sold for, I believe, $45 or $48. I think it was 48. So
quick though.
Yeah, it sold very quickly. They still have a good sell-through rate. They still sell really fast, but don't pay $20 for them used. Sometimes you could do that like a year or two ago, but try to stay in that $10 range if you can.
Ooh, a Purple Label. This is for me.
This is a disappointing Purple Label. But.
Oh, is it? Well, it's still Purple Label, so I'm happy. This is a Ralph Lauren Purple Label. Now, if you don't know, Ralph Lauren has many lines. A lot of them are in various price ranges. Some are really cheap, some are really expensive. As far as Ralph Lauren goes, Purple Label is top tier. Doesn't get any more expensive than Purple Label.
As you can see, $28.50.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a story to that. This is just a regular cotton polo, but I think what's wrong with it? Oh, it's missing a button.
There's a lot wrong with it.
Missing a button has The
elbow wear.
elbows are worn, look bad. So it's got a lot wrong with
I
it.
think it has a hole too.
Tags falling off. It's got a hole, and it still sold for how much?
I think it was like 24.
Still sold for over $20. So if this was in good shape, you're probably looking at $50. But obviously horrible shape. So
Maybe
but,
more than that.
But still picked it up.
Asics. These are a really old pair of Asics that we had. But if you see, it has an auto posher sale because it was recreated by auto posher.
Well, we talked about auto posher in the last video a little bit, but while we have this example, this is an item that was recreated using auto posher. And the reason auto posher helps so much, it's like listing a brand new item. If you know anything about reselling, you know listing every single day is really important. It helps drive traffic to the algorithm. Auto posher allows us to list in all the subcategories that maybe we don't buy women's shoes that week. We weren't listing in the women's categories enough because we're not buying enough of it. So now every day we make sure we list women's shoes, women's sweaters, women's pants by using auto posher's recreate feature, just refreshing our old inventory from the items that have gotten lost in the algorithm. I'm not going to go real far into depth with this because I don't want to bore you guys if you're not interested in auto posher. But if you are, we have videos on auto posher that you can check out, show you how to use it, show you how it works. And we also have a link for 15% off if you would like to try auto posher out and just see if it can help your store, help you get your older items moving. It's been a huge help for us, which is why we like to tell you guys about it. So hopefully you can try it out, and hopefully you can tell us, wow, that helped us so much. Thank you so much for bringing auto posher to our eyes.
We recommend you don't use the auto recreate that has auto posher doing it for you automatically. Do it yourself. Pick your specific items that you want recreated so you can be in specific categories and have every subcategory listed every day.
And we have a sheet, I might even link it on this video, of the list of every subcategory that we list in every single day. That way you're not kind of just randomly doing like women's t-shirts, women's shoes. You're not being consistent. You want to make sure you're consistently listing in the correct subcategories every single day to get that increase in traffic and to drive sales to your actual eBay store.
This is a vintage Eddie Bauer leather jacket.
$80.
It sold for $80 and it sold very quickly. So yeah.
You know what? Everything I like sells. I like this jacket. I wore it.
Why are you yelling?
I don't know, but I like this jacket. I wore it. It looked good on me, and then I listed it, and it sold like within 2 days.
Why did you add the "it looks good on me" part?
I don't know. I think the people want to know.
Next one. Those very irrelevant details to that sale.
All right, guys. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren Harrington full zip jacket, good size, 2XL. We do use the keyword Harrington. We know a lot of people don't use the keyword Harrington, and they say you'll get in trouble for it, but we've had no issues using it, and we've sold a bunch of these things. I mean, I don't even know how many we've sold. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
We've had no problems with it. This sold for $40. It was listed $11.23, so it's been on for a long time. But as we just talked about with auto posher, this thing was recreated October 7th, and it is now sold. So it went from being buried to being seen, and now it's sold, as you can tell, really quickly after it was relisted.
This is a Banana Republic canvas jacket. I think it was more of a barn coat, chore coat style. It was kind of a stretch to put that, but hey, we did it anyway. It was a wool lined.
Flannel line.
You can put flannel line. You can put blanket line. Some people do that as well. But this sold for I think it was $60, and it sold very quickly. So something that people don't normally pick up. Banana Republic. There are things outerwear, in Banana Republic that still do really well.
The outerwear can be really
You got to know
good.
what you're looking for.
Like the leather jackets, those go for a lot of money. A pair of cool jeans, KUHL. If you've been reselling for it, well, this picture looks absolutely awful. This picture, I'm not sure what's going on with this picture, but it looks bad. And it still sold for $38. The cool men's pants and jeans do perform pretty well for us. This was listed $8.24, so it also sold pretty quickly.
Todd Snyder. So this was just a Todd Snyder long sleeve polo. And Todd Snyder always does well for us. This one sold really quickly. We priced Todd Snyder reasonably. We don't try to go too high with Todd Snyder just because we don't want it to sit for a really long time. This sold for $48. We marked it as new without tags just because it felt like it had never been worn. I mean, it was something that was we believe in top.
It smelled new.
It was
too.
a top tier, condition that warranted a new without tags. Wait, it says new with tags. Why does it say new with tags? Oh, misprint. There's no tags with it, so I think in the description we say that it doesn't have tags. But it did sell for $48. The person hasn't complained, so obviously they didn't expect it to have tags. But yeah, sold for $48 so quickly.
Charles Tyrwhitt rugby long sleeve shirt. This actually sold really quickly, and it sold for a decent amount. Sold for $25 really quickly. This Charles Tyrwhitt brand is definitely not going to sell for a lot of money, but it will sell even the button-down shirts will sell very consistently at that $15 price mark. So if you get them between $2 to $3, they're definitely bread and butter pickups. But this one, rugby shirt, a little more substantial, a little thicker, a little heavier, which is why it sold for a little bit more.
Polo Ralph Lauren cashmere blend. So like I said, no matter how much cashmere is in it, you can put cashmere blend. This one is 15%, which is not terrible. Cable knit, always got to throw cable knit in there if it's available to use. Navy, sold for $40, sold really quickly for $40. Like I said, could we have got the 50? Maybe if we would have waited, but like I said, take the money while it's there. Kind of like the Whatnot approach, but with eBay.
Yeah, Whatnot, but making way more money. A lot of Whatnot sellers out there, a lot of these resellers, eBay resellers, are switching to Whatnot because they turn their money over faster.
We've done it.
Yeah, we've done it once, which we liked it, but you're obviously going to get way less money out of your item if you're doing it Whatnot. But this is a North Face shacket. It's a Sherpa line, really thick, flat pocket shacket. This sold really quickly for $47.50. It was in great shape, which is one of the reasons it sold for so much. No pilling or anything at all. Absolutely perfect condition. Definitely pick up the North Face shackets if you see them.
Some Wrangler camos, cargo, Wrangler camo cargo, blah, blah, blah. Sold for $15.
Style-based sale.
Yep. One of those where we do pick up Wrangler if it is specific
very,
styles.
very selective.
Yeah. So, but it sold really fast. So certain styles do sell quick.
I actually bought this at a Goodwill completely as a test. I was like, camo and cargo are two really great keywords. I know Wrangler's not a great brand, but let's see if we can get a little bit of money out of it. And it sold really quickly, so I was very happy with that test. This is a vintage K-Rock radio shirt. This baby took forever to sell. Listed $623, but thanks to Auto Parts recreating this item, it was refreshed like a brand new listing, and it sold, I think, for $70. $60. So for $60,
paid way too much for it.
Yeah, paid $47.50. Way overpaid on this item.
That was like right at the end of the vintage T-shirt craze, where everybody's like, "Oh, you got $2,000 for this T-shirt." Like, we didn't do that.
Yeah, we're not selling $2,000 T-shirts here. We're selling in volume, everyday, regular mall brand stuff. So if we find a $2,000 T-shirt, we'll be really happy. But it's not something you're gonna find every day.
Hickey Freeman blazer. Now, what did this have? It had worsted wool and it had Loro Piana wool.
Loro Piana.
So if you ever see this tag, not that one, the blazer's normally pretty good. So we found that if you found just Loro Piana brand blazer, that's even better. This was made for Hickey Freeman. I think this sold for $80. It was new with defects even. So the defects were, if you go back, we bought this from a retailer that basically it was just new without tags. That's the basic aspect of it. It was just that black line. So go back to the Hickey Freeman tag. This black line is the defect. So it was a manufacturer, some company bought it, and they bought it from a
they get contracts where they have to alter it a little bit, where
so
somebody can't take it to a retail store and return it.
Yeah, so that's the only defect. But sold for $80 and it sold decently fast.
This is one of those Roan flannels that we got for $20. Sold for $58 and sold within a month. So definitely a good sale. Roan, if you're not familiar, is a pretty decent brand. Make sure you look it up before you buy it, because not every piece is good, but the flannels seem to actually perform super well
when they're new.
No, even the regular used ones sell
Red
for a lot.
Wings shoes. These sold decently fast. Red Wings, the boots are what you're going to be looking for, but these were not half bad themselves.
They're like mailman shoes.
Yeah, $30, and they sold decently fast. Not crazy, but not slow. What size was that? That was a huge size, it looked like.
Shoe.
Oh no, 10.5. Sorry, I thought it said 15. I didn't see the 0.
This is an Adidas jacket. What sold this is the size 3XL. So if we see an Adidas jacket and it's a big size, we're almost always picking it up. They are fast sellers. They don't sell for a lot, as you can see, $28.50, but they do sell quickly when they're the large sizes.
I'll just throw track jacket in there as well. This is a two-piece tracksuit for men's USA soccer team.
Flaws.
It has some flaws to it. It wasn't in the best shape, but we didn't have to pay a ton for it.
Yeah, look at the logo.
I
The logo's peeling off.
It's still sold for $40, and it sold quickly for $40. So
if it didn't have flaws, maybe 60, maybe 70.
Yeah, but still, track suits and stuff do well.
Viore short. Viore
short
shirt.
Sleeve.
Yeah, Viore short sleeve shirt. Viore is a really good brand. One of our favorite brands, I would say. Sells super quickly. Sells for a lot of money. Sold for $38, and it sold pretty much instantly.
Duluth Trading. This took a long time to sell, but that's because we got a few really low offers on it, but we knew it was a good piece, so we held out a little bit for it. It was a Shetland wool, textured, really nice new sweater.
Yeah.
We sat on it for 10 months. Sold it for
sounds so
we
bad.
sold it for $82 because we got some $40, $50 offers, but we knew somebody would eventually buy it, and they did for $82. Take that all day.
This is a Stafford blazer. Not something we normally pick up, but it was new and it was camel hair. So, excuse me. It was new and it was camel hair. Has a pretty decent MSRP, $225. This sold for $40 and it sold really quickly. Actually, kind of surprised by how quickly it sold because the comps didn't look great. But yeah, Stafford camel hair blazers that are new with tags, and it's a good size. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. So if you see an item like this and it's got several things going for it that are going to make it better than the normal sell-through rate, maybe pick it up and try it, which is what we did, and it ended up working out.
Club Room. This is another one. I don't remember. Was it Carhartt in this video or last video? Anyway, either way, it's the same week.
Last video.
It's a denim button-down shirt, Club Room. So not a crazy brand, but we picked it up because it was denim. Sold for $22.80, and it sold in about 3 months. So it's not as quickly as the Carhartt that sold, but still denim, still sold, and we'll take it all day. You didn't have to pay as much for it either because it was a cheaper brand.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, even like not substantial brands, if it's a denim shirt and it just kind of has like, I want to say like a vintagey look to it, it seems to sell like no matter what. Not for a lot, but the denim really does drive home the sale.
All them Gen Zers.
Yeah. Howler.
Hashtag millennial.
This is a pair of Howler Brothers Waterman's workwear, flat pocket pants. Howler Brothers, a lot of times will have the exact style name on the pants. So on the inside pocket here, as you can see, it's right here on the pants. These sold for $47.50, and they sold really quickly. We actually had several pairs of these pants. So if you've seen another pair selling on the previous video, it's probably just a different pair. But yeah, these things are definitely, this brand Howler Brothers can be really good at times.
Another Scotty vest. This one was a hoodie that paid $10 for. Took a $50 offer. Sold literally almost instantly. And yeah, it's the same situation as the vest. Like I said, 10 is probably the max I'd pay for a Scotty vest now, and that's what we paid. And it sold for $50. So bada bing, bada boom.
This is an Under Armour Wounded Warrior Project t-shirt. Wounded Warrior Project's not going to get you a lot more money, but it's going to sell it faster. Pretty much everything Wounded Warrior we've ever bought has sold quickly. This sold for $19, and it sold really quickly.
Grayson. So this is a Grayson quarter zip. Like I said, I think we talked about Holderness and Bourne, but as it being one of the good golf brands, we think Grayson's another one of the good ones left. It has a cool geometric pattern on it. Geometric's a good keyword to use, especially for golf stuff. It sold for $54, I believe, $52 maybe, but it sold really quickly. It was something that we had to pay a little bit up for. I think we paid $10 for it, but something like this, we knew it was going to be good, and it sold really quickly for good money.
This is a Nike camo quarter zip. Nike camo stuff sells really well, sells really quickly. Sometimes it can sell for a lot of money. This particular piece wasn't super substantial, so it only sold for $21.85. But if you see something Nike and it's camo, almost always look it up because sometimes it can be quite substantial, like I just said.
All right. This is a Land's End.
Men's. You said they didn't have men's, but they got it.
Yeah. This is a Land's End expedition. So I looked this one up. So I don't know if the tag said exactly what it was. I don't think it did. No. So I had to look it up and find what it was. I did. That paid off. It was the Expedition Down Parka.
It's a big coat.
Sold for $80, and it sold very quickly. It was down, all that stuff, really good keywords.
Parka's good too.
Yep, and it was a 600 fill. I don't think we could fit it in the title, so 600 fill would have been great to put in the title too.
It's really thick. It's a thick coat.
So all those down things, especially if they're new and you don't have to pay a ton for them, I suggest picking them up.
All right, we're ending with a New Balance with a New Balance jacket. This is a New Balance New at Tags jacket. New Balance stuff normally isn't great, but if it's new at tags, we'll always look it up. And if it's outerwear, more substantial, any type of jacket, outerwear, we're always going to look it up because it can be a lot better than just like a regular long sleeve shirt or anything else that's less substantial. Sold this for $35 and it sold really quickly. Definitely a good pickup.
All right, guys, thank you for watching part 2 of our $2,000 a day what sold for 1 week. We thought it was pretty cool. Thought we should share it with you guys. Maybe you learned something. Hopefully you did. And main thing, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Please comment. Please subscribe. Also, it really helps out the channel, and it's free. Also, we have the link Resell Bros for auto posture. Like I said, we think it's a game changer. We think it's helped us out a lot, especially with that recreate feature. 15% off if you use that. Try it out, and at least for a month.
Yeah, you can do a free trial too. Also, real quick before we finish, if you need some free BOLO resources, we have in our link tree and in the link in the description, a link to our free men's brands sheet that has the logos, has the sell-through rates, everything you need to know, and the women's brand sheet that we have. That way, if you guys are looking to educate yourself and just gain as much knowledge as possible, hopefully you can use those resources for free and just get access to all that information.
But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Be back for part 3. No,
Resell Brothers out.